25. Black musicians you didn't know were gay. Welcome to Legends of Black Excellence. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's rarely discussed but has a profound impact on music history. Did you know that some of the most iconic black musicians were secretly gay? From the pioneers of rock and roll to the kings and queens of R&B and hip-hop. These trailblazers not only changed music, but also fought against the harsh societal norms of their time. Are we ready to challenge the narrative? Stay tuned, and let's uncover the hidden stories behind their legendary careers. Hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Little Richard. Little Richard. Born Richard Wayne Penniman on December 5, 1932 in Macon, Georgia, is one of the most influential figures in the history of rock and roll. His groundbreaking fusion of gospel blues and boogie-woogie created a vibrant, energetic sound that would shape the future of popular music. His hits like Tutti Frutti Long Tall Sally and Good Golly Miss Molly became anthems of the 1950s, breaking down barriers for black artists and creating an entirely new genre of music. Little Richard was known for his flamboyant persona, which included outrageous outfits, high-pitched screams, and wildly energetic performances. He brought a sense of rebellion to the stage, challenging gender norms with his makeup-towering hair and glittering costumes. Despite his trailblazing career, Little Richard struggled with his sexual identity throughout his life. He spoke of being attracted to men, but also wrestled with religious guilt, often vacillating between his musical career and his desire to be accepted within the church. While he was open about his homosexuality at times, he also retracted those statements due to the fear of public backlash, especially in the deeply conservative southern United States. Little Richard's personal conflict between his identity and public persona was a hallmark of his career as he grappled with faith, fame, and sexuality. His contributions to rock and roll are undeniable, and his influence can be seen in musicians like Prince David Bowie and Elton John. Little Richard broke racial and sexual barriers, pushing the boundaries of what was acceptable in both the music industry and society, and remains a pioneer for LGBTQ+ representation in music. Little Richard passed away on May 9, 2020, at the age of 87, leaving behind an extraordinary legacy in the world of music and pop culture. Sylvester James, born on September 6, 1947 in Los Angeles, California, was a groundbreaking artist and one of the first openly gay musicians to achieve mainstream success. Often referred to as the Queen of Disco, Sylvester became a symbol of the LGBTQ+ community during the 1970s and 1980s, with his exuberant performances, glamorous fashion, and defiant expression of his identity. His music, including iconic hits like You Make Me Feel Mighty Real and Dance Disco Heat, was a celebration of freedom, love, and self-expression. Sylvester's powerful voice, with its unique falsetto and bold delivery, was a defining feature of his disco hits, and he became one of the most influential figures in the genre. Sylvester was known for his flamboyant style, often performing in drag, and for his unapologetic embrace of his sexual identity. He was an early advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, using his platform to challenge societal norms around gender and sexuality. As a black queer artist, Sylvester faced discrimination from both the mainstream music industry and the LGBTQ+ community, yet he continued to rise above these barriers, carving out a space for himself in pop culture. His impact on disco and dance music remains significant, with his music continuing to be anthems for the queer community. Tragically, Sylvester's career and life were deeply affected by the AIDS epidemic. In 1988, he passed away from AIDS-related complications at the age of 41. His death marked the loss of a vibrant, unapologetically queer artist who had redefined what it meant to be openly gay in the music industry. Sylvester's legacy lives on through his music and his role as a pioneering figure in the fight for LGBTQ+ visibility in pop music. Ma Rainey Gertrude Ma Rainey, born on April 26, 1886 in Columbus, Georgia, is often hailed as the Mother of the Blues. A pioneering figure in the development of blues music, Rainey brought the raw emotion and rich cultural narratives of the African-American South to the forefront of the music world in the 1920s. She was known for her commanding stage presence and powerful voice, and she recorded numerous songs that became classics, such as Prove It On Me Blues, which hinted at her sexual relationships with women. Though Rainey did not publicly declare her sexual identity, the lyrics of Prove It On Me Blues and other songs alluded to her bisexuality, and rumors circulated about her relationships with women. In a time when LGBTQ+ people, especially women, were heavily marginalized and silenced, Rainey was fearless in living her life authentically despite the scrutiny she faced. She became a trailblazer not only in music, but in breaking down the rigid gender and sexual boundaries of her era. Rainey's boldness extended beyond her music. She was one of the first women to lead her own band, and was known for her independent, no-nonsense approach to her career. She traveled with her own band, managed her own performances, and built a name for herself as a successful and powerful woman in a male-dominated music industry. Unfortunately, Ma Rainey's life and career were cut short by illness, and she passed away on December 22, 1939. Despite this, her influence on the blues genre and her contributions to the cultural landscape of America remain enduring. Ma Rainey's unapologetic defiance of norms, both in her music and her personal life, continues to inspire artists and musicians today. Bessie Smith. Bessie Smith, born on April 15, 1894 in Chattanooga, Tennessee, is widely regarded as one of the most influential blues singers of the 20th century. Known as the Empress of the Blues, Smith's powerful voice and emotional depth helped to shape the sound of blues and jazz music. Her most famous recordings, such as Downhearted Blues and Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, captured the struggles and resilience of African-American life, particularly the pain of love and loss. While Smith's professional life was marked by immense success, her personal life was just as colorful and complex. Although she never openly identified as gay or bisexual, there were widespread rumors about her relationships with both men and women. Smith's personal connections with women, particularly in her later years, were well known in the music community, and she was often seen in the company of women, including her close friendship with blues singer Clara Smith. The extent of Bessie Smith's bisexuality remains unclear, but the whispers about her relationships were part of her larger-than-life persona, adding an element of scandal to her public image during the early 20th century. Smith's personality matched the intensity of her music. She was known for her fiery temper and her willingness to confront those who disrespected her. She often traveled in her own private rail car, earning considerable wealth from her musical career. Despite the challenges she faced, including personal struggles and the shifting musical landscape, Smith's voice remained a defining force in blues music until her tragic death in a car accident on September 26, 1937. Her legacy as a pioneering African-American woman in music, as well as her refusal to conform to societal expectations, continues to influence generations of musicians and LGBTQ+ artists alike. Billy Strayhorn. Billy Strayhorn, born on November 29, 1915 in Dayton, Ohio, was a brilliant jazz composer, arranger, and pianist who is best known for his work with Duke Ellington. Strayhorn's musical genius was pivotal to Ellington's success, as he wrote and arranged several of the orchestra's most iconic pieces, including Take the A Train and Lush Life. Strayhorn's ability to blend intricate harmonies and sophisticated melodies earned him critical acclaim, but despite his immense contributions, he often stayed in Ellington's shadow. Strayhorn was openly gay, though his sexuality was kept largely out of the public eye during his career. As a black queer artist in the 1930s and 1940s, Strayhorn faced significant pressure to keep his identity hidden, especially in the conservative jazz world. Ellington was known to protect Strayhorn from public scrutiny, and their close working relationship provided Strayhorn with a level of security that many black LGBTQ+ artists of the time did not have. However, Strayhorn's sexuality was an open secret in the music world, and his life was marked by the tension between his private identity and his public persona. In his personal life, Strayhorn was known to be reserved and introspective, but his genius as a composer shone through in his music. His contributions to jazz, particularly his work on compositions like Lush Life, remain foundational in the genre. Strayhorn's struggle with being a black gay man in an unforgiving society is reflected in the layers of complexity found in his music. He passed away from cancer in 1967 at the age of 51, but his legacy continues to shape jazz and the LGBTQ+ music community. Frankie Knuckles. Frankie Knuckles, born on January 18, 1955 in the Bronx, New York, was an influential DJ producer and one of the most prominent figures in the development of house music. Known as the godfather of house music, Knuckles played a pivotal role in shaping the electronic dance music scene during the 1980s and beyond. His innovative mixing techniques and unique approach to DJing laid the foundation for the genre, which combined elements of disco soul and electronic music. Knuckles became a central figure at Chicago's Warehouse Club, where he honed his craft and began creating the beats that would become synonymous with the house music movement. Knuckles' impact extended far beyond the decks. As an openly gay man, he used his platform to create safe spaces for LGBTQ+ communities, particularly in Chicago, where the Warehouse served as a sanctuary for people marginalized by society. His music was not only a soundtrack for nightlife, but also a form of resistance against societal norms. Knuckles was an advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and fought for inclusivity in a time when many people were still hiding their identities. His influence can be seen in artists from various genres, and his music continues to shape dance floors around the world. Tragically, Knuckles' life was marked by the AIDS epidemic, and he passed away from complications related to the disease on March 31, 2014, at the age of 59. Despite his untimely death, his contributions to dance music and his role in creating a space for LGBTQ+ individuals within the music world have left an enduring legacy. Frankie Knuckles' career exemplifies how music can serve as a powerful force for liberation and a means of defying societal barriers. Johnny Mathis. Johnny Mathis, born on September 30, 1935 in Gilmer, Texas, is one of the most iconic and enduring voices in American music. Known for his smooth, romantic crooning style, Mathis became a household name in the 1950s, with his timeless hits like Chances Are Misty and Too Much, Too Little, Too Late. His soft, velvety voice made him a favorite among jazz and pop audiences, earning him the title of the Voice of Romance. His albums consistently topped the charts, and he became known for his impeccable vocal delivery and ability to make every song feel deeply personal. Throughout his long career, Mathis was able to maintain an air of mystery around his personal life, especially his sexuality. Though rumors about his being gay circulated for years, Mathis did not publicly confirm or deny them until later in life. The secrecy surrounding his sexual identity became a defining aspect of his career as he faced intense public scrutiny and pressure to maintain a romantic image for his audience, which largely consisted of women. It wasn't until much later in his life, during an interview in 1982, that Mathis openly acknowledged his sexuality, confirming what many had suspected. Despite this, his career continued to thrive, and he remained a beloved figure in the world of pop and jazz. Mathis's legacy as a legendary voice in American music remains unshaken, and his quiet bravery in maintaining his privacy while still succeeding in a highly heteronormative industry speaks volumes about the personal and professional challenges he faced. Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross, born on April 20, 1951 in New York City, is one of the most celebrated R&B artists of all time, known for his velvet smooth voice and timeless love songs. His career spanned decades with hits like Never Too Much, A House Is Not a Home, and Dance with My Father, which became anthems of romance and heartbreak. Vandross's voice was unparalleled. He could effortlessly express longing, joy, and passion with each note, making him one of the most influential R&B vocalists in history. While Vandross's public persona was always focused on his music and relationships with women in his songs, there were persistent rumors about his sexual orientation. Throughout much of his career, Vandross was notoriously private about his personal life, especially when it came to his sexuality. He never publicly came out during his lifetime, and the topic was rarely discussed in the media. However, after his death in 2005, close friends and associates confirmed that Vandross was indeed gay, though he had felt immense pressure to keep this aspect of his life private due to fears of backlash from both his family and the industry. Vandross's reticence about his sexuality is understood by many as a reflection of the difficult environment black gay men faced in the music industry during his rise to fame, where openly gay artists often faced discrimination. His personal struggles with his identity, combined with his unmatched vocal talent, made him a hero for many in the LGBTQ+ community. Vandross's music, especially his romantic ballads, continues to resonate with fans worldwide, and his legacy as one of the greatest vocalists in modern music is secured. Despite his personal challenges, Luther Vandross's immense contribution to music and his role in making R&B a central part of American culture remain his lasting legacy. Michelle Ndegeocello. Michelle Ndegeocello, born Michelle Lynn Johnson on August 29, 1968 in Berlin, Germany, is one of the most distinctive voices in contemporary music. A multi-talented musician, songwriter, and bassist, Ndegeocello's work blends a rich mix of R&B, soul, jazz, hip-hop, and funk, creating a sound uniquely her own. Her debut album, Plantation Lullabies, 1993, was groundbreaking, establishing her as a bold, innovative artist with a deep sense of social consciousness. Tracks like If That's Your Boyfriend, He Wasn't Last Night explored themes of sexuality, identity, and empowerment positioning. Ndegeocello as an outspoken advocate for LGBTQ+ rights. Her personal life, particularly her sexual identity, has been a subject of public interest. Though Ndegeocello never fully embraced a single label, she has been open about her fluid sexual identity and her experiences as a queer woman. She has often spoken about the challenges of being a black queer woman in an industry that often sidelines artists who deviate from the mainstream. Ndegeocello's music reflects her experiences tackling complex topics such as love, self-discovery, and the intersections of race and sexuality. Her songs like Leviticus Faggot and Soul Star offer unapologetic expressions of her identity, and her work continues to be a source of inspiration for many in the LGBTQ+ and Black communities. Throughout her career, Ndegeocello has not only pushed musical boundaries, but has also used her platform to challenge societal norms. She continues to be a powerful, fearless artist, embracing her truth and carving out spaces where her artistry and authenticity can flourish. Her influence on the music industry, particularly in how she has navigated identity and creativity, makes her a trailblazer for future generations of LGBTQ+ and Black musicians. Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean, born Christopher Edwin Breaux on October 28, 1987 in Long Beach, California, is a genre-defying artist whose introspective songwriting and ethereal production style have made him one of the most influential musicians of the 21st century. His debut album, Channel Orange 2012, was a critical and commercial success, with tracks like Thinkin' 'Bout You and Pyramids becoming instant classics in the R&B genre. Ocean's ability to weave complex emotional narratives with experimental soundscapes set him apart from his contemporaries and quickly established him as a voice for a new generation of music lovers. What truly set Frank Ocean apart from other artists, however, was his decision to come out publicly as bisexual before the release of Channel Orange. In 2012, he wrote an open letter on his Tumblr discussing his past romantic experiences with men challenging the norms of the often conservative hip-hop and R&B communities. This candidness about his sexuality was groundbreaking for a Black male artist in the music industry, where LGBTQ+ representation was minimal and often stigmatized. Ocean's honesty in addressing his sexuality not only shifted conversations about queerness in hip-hop and R&B, but also cemented his place as a cultural icon and advocate for LGBTQ+ rights. Ocean's second album, Blonde 2016, further solidified his position as a groundbreaking artist. With its experimental structure and complex themes of love, heartbreak, and identity, Blonde was hailed as a masterpiece of modern music. Ocean's reluctance to fully conform to industry expectations, his periodic withdrawal from the public eye, his refusal to adhere to traditional promotional tactics, further emphasized his commitment to personal truth and artistic integrity. Frank Ocean continues to be a powerful force in the music world, breaking barriers for both LGBTQ+ artists and Black musicians. His openness about his identity, his exploration of themes related to love, race, and mental health, and his ever-evolving sound make him a pivotal figure in contemporary music. Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe, born on December 1st, 1985 in Kansas City. Kansas is a groundbreaking artist whose work defies genre boundaries and tackles issues of race, gender, and sexuality. Monáe's music blends elements of R&B, soul, pop, funk, and hip-hop, creating a sound that is as innovative as it is captivating. Her debut album, The Arch-Android 2010, introduced the world to her unique style blending futuristic concepts with profound social commentary. Over the years, Monáe has become an outspoken advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, gender fluidity, and racial justice. Monáe's identity and its evolution have been significant to her career. For years, she kept her sexual identity private, presenting herself as an enigmatic figure, often discussing her pansexuality through her art, rather than explicitly labeling herself. In 2018, she came out as pansexual in an interview, further solidifying her role as an LGBTQ+ icon. Through her music, particularly on her 2018 album Dirty Computer, Monáe explored themes of identity, love, and liberation. The album's tracks, such as Make Me Feel and Pink, celebrate queer love and embrace sexual freedom in a society that often marginalizes non-heteronormative identities. Beyond her music, Monáe's activism and visibility in the entertainment industry have paved the way for greater LGBTQ+ representation in the arts. Her androgynous image and unapologetic exploration of both race and sexuality in her work have made her a figurehead for intersectional activism. Monáe continues to be a pioneering force in both music and social justice, using her platform to fight for equality while expanding the boundaries of genre and performance art. Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X, born Montero Hill on April 9, 1999 in Lithia Springs, Georgia, is a force of nature in contemporary music. His debut single Old Town Road became a cultural phenomenon, blending hip-hop with country music in a way that had never been seen before. The song not only topped charts for a record-breaking 19 weeks, but also reshaped the genre boundaries of both country and hip-hop, proving that musical genres are fluid and evolving. Lil Nas X's rise to stardom was swift, and his blend of creativity, humor, and boldness won him fans worldwide. What truly set Lil Nas X apart, however, was his decision to come out as gay in 2019 during Pride Month, a move that was groundbreaking in a genre historically known for its homophobia. In doing so, Lil Nas X broke barriers not only in hip-hop, but in the broader music industry where LGBTQ+ representation has long been scarce, especially for Black artists. His coming out sparked a mixture of support and backlash, but his response was unapologetic. He used his platform to encourage LGBTQ+ youth to embrace who they are, and his music became a vehicle for addressing issues related to queerness and self-expression. His 2021 album, Montero, pushed these themes even further. The album's lead single, Montero, Call Me By Your Name, made waves with its bold imagery, including a controversial music video in which Lil Nas X slides down a stripper pole to hell and gives the devil a lap dance, challenging religious and societal norms. The song and video sparked debates about queerness, sexuality, and artistic expression. Despite the criticism, Montero cemented Lil Nas X's place in pop culture not just as a musician, but as a revolutionary figure in the fight for LGBTQ+ visibility in music. Lil Nas X continues to use his music, social media presence, and public persona to confront stigma, provoke thought, and break down barriers. Through his unapologetic embrace of his sexuality and his ability to challenge long-held expectations, he has become a beacon of empowerment and resilience for LGBTQ+ people worldwide, particularly Black queer youth. Sid the Kid. Born Sydney Lauren Bennett on April 23, 1992 in Dallas, Texas, is a groundbreaking artist known for her soulful voice and bold genre-blending sound. As a founding member of the influential hip-hop collective Odd Future, Sid initially rose to fame as the group's in-house producer and engineer, contributing to the production of their signature experimental sound. However, it was her solo work, particularly her debut album Finn 2017, that solidified her place as a pioneering figure in contemporary R&B and electronic music. Sid's music combines smooth, atmospheric melodies with candid, introspective lyrics about love, identity, and vulnerability. As a queer Black woman in the music industry, Sid has been open about her sexuality, and her journey of self-acceptance is reflected in her art. She came out publicly in 2016 sharing her identity as a lesbian and became one of the first openly queer women in the hip-hop and R&B scenes. This marked an important moment in an industry that often marginalized LGBTQ+ artists, especially those who identified as women or non-binary. Sid's boldness and authenticity have inspired many fans, particularly LGBTQ+ youth, to embrace their true selves. Sid's role in Odd Future was pivotal, as she not only helped shape the collective's unique sound, but also became a role model for queer representation in hip-hop and R&B. Her solo work, though more introspective and mellow compared to her work with Odd Future, continues to reflect her growth as an artist and her ongoing advocacy for LGBTQ+ visibility. Sid has become a symbol of empowerment, using her platform to promote self-love, creativity, and the importance of living authentically. Kevin Abstract. Kevin Abstract, born Clifford Ian Simpson on July 16, 1996 in Corpus Christi, Texas, is a genre-defying rapper-singer and the leader of the influential boy band Brockhampton. Known for blending hip-hop with elements of pop R&B and electronic music, Kevin Abstract has garnered a dedicated fan base for his bold, vulnerable, and honest approach to his music. His debut solo project, American Boyfriend, a suburban love story 2016, explored themes of love identity and longing with Abstract, using his own experiences as a young Black queer man growing up in America to inspire his music. The album became a deeply personal statement about self-acceptance and navigating the complexities of being queer in a world that often tries to suppress such identities. As the frontman of Brockhampton, Abstract has played a pivotal role in reshaping the narrative around LGBTQ+ artists in hip-hop. He came out as gay in 2016, which was a significant moment in the music industry, where LGBTQ+ representation, particularly for Black artists, has historically been minimal. Abstract's openness about his sexuality, particularly in a genre known for its traditionally macho persona, has been revolutionary in creating space for queer voices in hip-hop and has inspired countless fans and artists to embrace their truth. Kevin Abstract's music often reflects his personal journey of coming to terms with his identity, and his exploration of topics such as love, race, and mental health resonates with many listeners. His willingness to be vulnerable and unapologetic about his experiences has made him a trailblazer for LGBTQ+ representation in hip-hop. With Brockhampton, Abstract continues to challenge expectations of what it means to be both a Black man and a queer artist in the modern music scene, using his platform to create a more inclusive and diverse space in the industry. Tyler, the Creator. Tyler, the Creator born. Tyler Okonma, on March 6, 1991 in Ladera Heights, California, is a multifaceted artist known for his genre-defying approach to music, fashion, and artistry. He first gained attention as a member of the collective Odd Future, where his unorthodox style, often characterized by provocative lyrics and a rebellious attitude, set him apart from his peers. His solo career particularly, his album Goblin 2011, quickly made him one of the most polarizing figures in hip-hop, as he openly discussed topics like mental health, relationships, and his identity. While Tyler initially garnered attention for his controversial lyrics and brash persona, he later began to explore more introspective themes in his music. His 2017 album Flower Boy marked a significant departure from his earlier work, with Tyler embracing vulnerability and exploring his sexuality in ways he hadn't before. The album's lyrics, which alluded to his experiences with romantic attraction toward men, were widely interpreted as his coming out, though he never explicitly labeled himself at the time. The honesty and openness of Flower Boy brought Tyler a new level of respect in the music industry, showcasing his growth as an artist. By the time his 2019 album Igor was released, Tyler had fully embraced a more fluid approach to gender and sexuality, further challenging traditional expectations of masculinity within the hip-hop industry. His willingness to openly experiment with his sound and persona has earned him critical acclaim, making him a role model for those looking to break free from societal norms. Tyler's journey reflects a unique combination of self-discovery, artistic evolution, and unapologetic creativity, and he remains a leading figure in pushing the boundaries of hip-hop and popular music. Big Freedia. Big Freedia, born Freddie Ross on January 28, 1978 in New Orleans, Louisiana, is widely known as the Queen of Bounce, a genre of hip-hop music that originated in the LGBTQ+ community in New Orleans. Big Freedia's energetic performances, bold personality, and unapologetic presence in both her music and public life have made her a central figure in the world of queer music, especially within the bounce scene. Her music blends hip-hop with dance beats, and she has played a significant role in bringing bounce music from the underground to a global stage. As a gender non-conforming artist, Big Freedia's public persona challenges traditional gender norms and expectations, both within the hip-hop community and mainstream pop culture. She uses she/her pronouns and embraces a fluid identity, celebrating femininity and masculinity alike in her performances. Big Freedia's music and public statements emphasize empowerment, especially for LGBTQ+ people, and her visibility in the hip-hop scene has been a crucial step toward greater acceptance of queer voices in a traditionally heteronormative genre. Her hits like Explode and As Everywhere celebrate sexual freedom, confidence, and joy, becoming anthems for LGBTQ+ communities across the world. Big Freedia has also used her platform to fight for the rights of LGBTQ+ individuals, particularly those from marginalized communities. She has spoken out against homophobia and transphobia in hip-hop and popular culture, pushing for a more inclusive and diverse music scene. Despite facing criticism and resistance from parts of the mainstream music industry, Big Freedia's persistence has helped bring greater visibility to queer artists, and her contributions to bounce music and LGBTQ+ activism remain central to her legacy. She continues to be a pioneering force, proving that music can serve as a powerful tool for social change and representation. Saucy Santana. Saucy Santana, born on October 8, 1993 in Florida, has quickly become one of the most prominent and unapologetically bold figures in contemporary hip-hop and rap. Known for his extravagant style and confident persona, Saucy Santana is celebrated for breaking down the boundaries of hip-hop, a genre historically resistant to LGBTQ+ representation. Santana first gained attention as a social media personality before transitioning into music with hits like Material Girl and Walk 'Em Like a Dog. His music, which blends hip-hop with elements of pop and dance, celebrates unapologetic femininity, confidence, and sexual freedom, creating a unique space for queer representation in hip-hop. Saucy Santana's rise to fame has been marked by his fearless defiance of traditional gender norms within the rap world. As a gay artist, he challenges the stereotypical masculinity often found in hip-hop, expressing his sexuality openly and confidently. His songs often explore themes of self-love, empowerment, and embracing one's authentic identity. Santana's public persona, characterized by his flamboyant fashion makeup and unapologetic attitude, has made him an icon for many in the LGBTQ+ community, especially for queer black men. However, Santana's rise to prominence hasn't come without controversy. His boldness has drawn criticism from certain segments of the hip-hop community, with some accusing him of being too flamboyant for the genre. Despite this, his growing fan base and continued success show that there is space for artists who challenge the norm and embrace their true selves. Saucy Santana's ability to turn his distinct style and voice into a commercial and cultural force has cemented him as one of the leading figures in queer hip-hop today. I love Makonnen. I love Makonnen. Born Makonnen. Sharon on April 12, 1989, in Los Angeles. California is an American singer, rapper, and songwriter who gained recognition with his 2014 hit single, Tuesday. His breakthrough track, which featured rapper Drake, became an instant anthem topping charts and cementing Makonnen as one of the most innovative voices in hip-hop at the time. Known for his eclectic mix of rap, R&B, and electronic music, I Love Makonnen's unique sound helped pave the way for a new wave of experimental hip-hop that merged genres and pushed traditional boundaries. However, I Love Makonnen's legacy extends beyond his music. In 2017, he made waves in the hip-hop community by coming out as gay, becoming one of the few openly LGBTQ+ rappers in a genre often criticized for its lack of representation and inclusivity. His decision to publicly embrace his sexuality was a groundbreaking moment for queer visibility in the hip-hop world, a genre often hostile to LGBTQ+ identities. Despite receiving a range of reactions from fans and fellow artists, I Love Makonnen remained steadfast in his authenticity, continuing to create music that reflected his journey of self-discovery and acceptance. His music continues to evolve with albums like I Love Makonnen 2 2019, showcasing his growth as an artist and his commitment to creating inclusive and experimental sounds. While his coming out was initially met with some resistance in the industry, Love Makonnen's courage has paved the way for other queer artists in hip-hop, encouraging a new generation to embrace their identity openly. I Love Makonnen's influence in music and his bravery in challenging the norms of the hip-hop genre have solidified him as a trailblazer for LGBTQ+ representation in mainstream hip-hop culture. Serpent with Feet, Serpent with Feet. Born Josiah Wise on May 16, 1989, is an American experimental R&B artist whose work explores the intersection of blackness, queerness, and spirituality. Growing up in Baltimore, Maryland, Serpent with Feet's musical journey began with classical training, but it was his move toward experimental sounds that set him apart from mainstream R&B artists. His debut album, Soil 2016, was a groundbreaking work that blended ethereal vocals with experimental production, creating a haunting and unique atmosphere. His music often explores themes of love, desire, faith, and vulnerability, with a specific focus on the complexities of queer Black identity. Serpent with Feet's lyrics are often deeply personal, exploring the complexities of romantic relationships, self-acceptance, and spiritual growth. Songs like Bless Her Heart and Fellowship combine elements of gospel R&B and electronic music, showcasing his ability to create a sound that is as unconventional as it is intimate. The artist's use of religious imagery, particularly his exploration of the divine and its relationship to love and desire, challenges traditional views of both faith and sexuality. As a Black queer artist, Serpent with Feet is part of a new generation of musicians who are unapologetically embracing their identities in a world that often marginalizes them. His willingness to blend sacred and sensual themes within his music, using vulnerability as both a strength and a form of resistance, has made him an important figure in the movement for queer representation in music. Serpent with Feet continues to be a powerful voice in the music industry, using his platform to challenge conventions and offer listeners an intimate glimpse into his world. Cakes. Da Killa Cakes. Da Killa Born. Rashard Cakes. Deshaun Harris on August 28, 1990 in New Jersey is a trailblazing figure in the underground rap scene. Known for his bold and unapologetic approach to lyricism, Cakes da Killa has become one of the most influential openly queer voices in hip-hop. His music, which blends fierce, fast-paced rap with elements of electronic trap and pop, defies the traditional confines of the genre, creating a unique space for queer artists in the world of hip-hop, which has historically been hostile to LGBTQ+ representation. Cakes da Killa's breakthrough came with his debut mixtape, The Eulogy 2012, which showcased his sharp lyrical skills, witty wordplay, and fearless delivery. He quickly gained recognition for his ability to combine humor with raw sexual energy and clever social commentary, creating an entirely new form of queer rap. In addition to his musical talent, Cakes da Killa's image and stage presence reflect a larger-than-life personality, with his gender-bending fashion and unapologetic performance style challenging norms and pushing the boundaries of what it means to be a queer rapper in hip-hop. His music often addresses themes of sexuality, self-empowerment, and the complexities of queer life in a genre that tends to shy away from these topics. Tracks like You Ain't Shit and Cakes on the Side are full of brash confidence, celebrating both sexual freedom and personal strength. Cakes da Killa has carved out a space in hip-hop where being queer is not just accepted, but celebrated, and his continued success represents a shift toward greater inclusivity in hip-hop. His work as a queer artist challenges the expectations of mainstream rap, making him a revolutionary figure in both the LGBTQ+ and hip-hop communities. Mickey Blanco. Mickey Blanco, born Michael David Quattlebaum Jr. on April 2, 1989 in Reidsville, North Carolina, is an American rapper, performance artist, and activist who has become one of the most influential queer artists in the underground music scene. Known for their unapologetic style, fierce performances, and boundary-pushing approach to music, Mickey Blanco's artistry defies labels and genre expectations. Blanco's blend of hip-hop, punk, electronic, and experimental music created a distinct sound that challenges both the conventions of hip-hop and the representation of queer identities in mainstream music. Their debut mixtape, Mickey Blanco and the Mutant Angels 2012, introduced the world to Blanco's gritty yet charismatic voice and sharp lyrics. The project's themes, which explore identity, sexuality, and personal transformation, made a bold statement about queer liberation and the rejection of societal norms. Mickey Blanco's work tackles complex subjects such as gender fluidity, mental health, and social justice, blending these themes into their powerful musical and visual artistry. Blanco's willingness to challenge gender expectations through both their music and their public persona has made them an icon in the LGBTQ+ community. Their identity as a gender non-conforming artist and their advocacy for transgender and non-binary rights have contributed to a broader cultural conversation about queer representation in hip-hop. Mickey Blanco's influence continues to grow with subsequent projects like Mickey 2016 and Broken Hearts and Beauty Sleep 2021, which continue to push boundaries and expand the limits of what queer artists can achieve within the music industry. Zebra Cats. Zebra Cats, born O.J. Morgan on May 9, 1990 in Brooklyn, New York, is an experimental rapper and performance artist whose work challenges the norms of both hip-hop and queer representation in music. Known for his dark, minimalist beats and provocative lyrics, Zebra Cats gained widespread attention with his breakout track Ima Reed 2012, which became an underground anthem for LGBTQ+ communities. The song's fierce, commanding energy and bold visuals introduced Zebra Cats as one of the most distinctive queer voices in hip-hop, creating a space for a new generation of non-binary and gender non-conforming artists. Zebra Cats' music is known for its unflinching exploration of power, identity, and desire. His sound, which blends hip-hop, industrial, and electronic elements, is as confrontational as it is captivating. His work frequently challenges expectations surrounding masculinity, sexuality, and performance, and his unapologetic approach to discussing queer themes makes his music resonate with many LGBTQ+ listeners. Katz's performances are often highly stylized and theatrical, incorporating elements of fashion and visual art that add layers of meaning to his already complex musical statements. Zebra Katz's boldness and commitment to redefining the boundaries of hip-hop and queer music have earned him respect from both the underground scene and more mainstream artists. His 2019 album, Less is More, continued to explore themes of power, beauty, and defiance, cementing his place as an influential figure in the modern music landscape. Zebra Katz remains a revolutionary force in the music industry, using his platform to challenge societal norms and expand the visibility of LGBTQ+ artists in hip-hop. Khalif Diouf, better known by their stage name. Lee 1F is an American rapper, producer, and performer whose work challenges norms and explores themes of queer identity, race, and the intersections of both within hip-hop and contemporary music. Born on March 29, 1988 in New York City, Lee 1F first gained attention through a series of boundary-pushing mixtapes including Fly Zone 2012, which garnered praise for its experimental approach to rap. As a black gay artist, Lee 1F's music is a unique blend of hip-hop, electronic, and avant-garde elements, infused with raw, often political commentary that confronts issues of gender, sexuality, and societal expectations. Lee 1F's emergence as a queer rapper in an often homophobic and exclusionary industry was revolutionary, helping to pave the way for other LGBTQ+ artists in hip-hop. Songs like What and Rage are filled with unapologetic confidence, celebrating both personal freedom and the rejection of heteronormative standards. Lee 1F's approach to sexuality is direct and unflinching, using their platform to break down barriers for queer black men in the music industry. Though Lee 1F's visibility as a queer black artist has garnered a large following, they have also faced their share of challenges, including both resistance from parts of the hip-hop community and industry pushback. Nonetheless, Lee 1F remains an influential figure in the queer rap scene, and their work continues to challenge and redefine the limits of rap music. By merging sharp lyricism with bold beats, Lee 1F has established themselves as one of the leading voices in queer hip-hop, offering new possibilities for artists seeking to carve out their identities outside of traditional gender and sexual expectations. Alejandra Gersi Rodriguez, better known by her stage name Arca, is a Venezuelan producer, singer, and composer who has become one of the most innovative and influential figures in contemporary electronic music. Born on October 14, 1989 in Caracas, Venezuela, Arca's early exposure to classical music and electronic experimentation shaped her unique style, which blends avant-garde, industrial, and glitch music with deeply emotional and often haunting soundscapes. Her work has transcended boundaries, with Arca becoming known for both her solo releases and her collaborations with artists such as FKA Twigs, Kanye West, and Björk. Arca's journey in music is also marked by her exploration of gender and identity. In her early work, Arca made a name for herself as a producer in the experimental electronic scene, but it wasn't until her 2014 album XN that she began to publicly address her own gender identity. In 2015, Arca openly came out as a transgender woman, and her work began to reflect a more direct exploration of her personal transformation. Her albums, particularly Arca 2017 and Kick Y 2020, tackle themes of self-discovery, emotional turmoil, and the deconstruction of gender, while creating sonic landscapes that evoke both pain and liberation. Arca's music is deeply introspective, often exploring themes of alienation, loss, and the complexities of being a trans woman in the public eye. Her sound, a chaotic blend of synthetic textures and haunting vocals, is as much an art form as it is an act of resistance against the binary gender norms prevalent in the music industry. With her work, Arca has become a trailblazer in the experimental electronic scene, pushing the boundaries of music, sound, and gender expression. She continues to be a powerful force in music, using her platform to challenge preconceived notions of identity and create art that is as transformative as her own personal journey. Kaytranada Kaytranada, born Louis Kevin Celestine on August 25, 1992 in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, is a critically acclaimed Canadian producer, DJ, and musician known for his unique blend of electronic music, R&B, hip-hop, and dance music. Raised in Montreal, Kaytranada began his musical journey by experimenting with production at an early age, influenced by his Haitian roots and the rich musical culture of Montreal. His sound fuses elements of house funk, jazz, and soul, creating an eclectic yet distinct style that has made him one of the most influential producers of his generation. Kaytranada's breakthrough came with the release of his 2016 debut album, 99.9%, which featured collaborations with artists like Anderson .Paak Goldlink and Aluna George. The album was widely praised for its genre-blending production, smooth grooves, and sophisticated arrangements. Kaytranada's ability to mix elements of disco funk and electronic music with smooth R&B vocals created a unique sound that quickly earned him recognition within the music world. His production style often features deep bass lines, infectious rhythms, and a penchant for creating sensual yet danceable music that resonates with a broad audience. Beyond his production skills, Kaytranada has become an advocate for LGBTQ+ representation in the music industry, openly identifying as gay. His openness about his sexuality has been significant in an industry where LGBTQ+ artists are often underrepresented, particularly in genres like electronic music and hip-hop. Kaytranada's visibility as a queer Black artist has helped break down barriers for other LGBTQ+ musicians, especially those who come from marginalized communities. His sophomore album, Bubba 2019, further solidified his place as a genre-defying artist with hits like 10% featuring Kali Uchis. Kaytranada continues to be a trailblazer, creating music that pushes the boundaries of genre and identity, while also representing queer Black voices in mainstream music. His work continues to inspire fans and fellow artists, making him a key figure in shaping the future of electronic music and its intersection with Black and queer culture. The world of Black music has been shaped by many groundbreaking figures, but some of the most influential Black musicians also lived their lives quietly navigating the complexities of their sexuality. From Little Richard's battle between faith and fame to Frank Ocean's courageous public coming out, these artists defied societal norms and created music that spoke not just to their communities, but to the world. What impact did their openness have on future generations of artists? Do these musicians' legacies challenge how we perceive gender and sexuality in the music industry? Join the conversation and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence.